Hey there, my beautiful, incredible listeners. Welcome to the Dang Good Show and welcome to our 50th episode. I'm your host, Christine Dang, CDang, and I honestly can't believe we're here. 50 episodes, 50 conversations, 50 opportunities to explore what it means to live authentically, love deeply, and thrive as human beings in this wild, wonderful, complicated digital age we're navigating together. When I started this podcast, I had no idea where it would take us. I just knew I had things I wanted to explore. Questions about emotional intelligence, authentic connection, finding purpose, building resilience, and I hoped maybe some of you would want to explore them with me. What I didn't expect was how much this journey would teach me, how much your feedback would shape these conversations, and how profoundly this community would impact my own growth. Today's episode is different. It's reflective, it's celebratory, and it's also bittersweet because I'm announcing that I'll be taking a break after this episode. But before you panic, this isn't goodbye. This is me practicing what I've been preaching about digital wellness, intentional living, and the courage to pause when you need to recharge and realign. So, today we're going to celebrate this incredible milestone together. I want to share some of the biggest lessons that have emerged from our 50 episodes, reflect on how these conversations have shaped both of us, and give you a preview of what's coming in season 2, including an exciting new format with guest speakers that I think you're going to love. But first, let me just say thank you. Thank you for listening, for growing, for sharing your stories with me, for trusting me with your time and attention. This show exists because of you, and every single episode has been created with one person in mind, you. Wherever you are, whatever you're going through, trying to figure out how to be more authentically, beautifully human in this digital world. Looking back over these 50 episodes, I can see so clearly now what was driving every conversation, even when I couldn't articulate it perfectly at the beginning. Everything we've explored, from mindfulness and emotional intelligence to digital wellness and authentic leadership, has been in service of one central mission: helping you build emotional resilience for life in the digital age. Think about it. We're living through a time of unprecedented change. Technology is reshaping how we connect, work, learn, and even think about ourselves. Social media has transformed how we relate to others and understand our place in the world. AI and automation are changing the job market and making us question what skills will remain valuable. Information overload has made it harder to focus, decide, and find peace in the present moment. At the same time, we're dealing with global challenges that feel overwhelming. Climate change, political polarization, economic uncertainty, social inequality. The pace of life feels faster than ever, and many of us are struggling with anxiety, loneliness, and a sense that we're losing touch with what really matters. But here's what I've learned through these 50 episodes. The solution isn't to reject technology, no, or to try to go backward to some simpler time. The solution is to develop our emotional intelligence, our authentic self-awareness, and our capacity for genuine connection so that we can use technology thoughtfully rather than being used by it. Every episode we've done has been about building these internal resources. When we talked about mindfulness in episode 26, It was about developing the awareness to notice that when technology is serving you versus when it's distracting you from what matters. When we explored the loneliness epidemic in episode 42, it was about understanding the difference between digital connection and genuine human connection. When we discussed the overwhelm epidemic in our last episode, it was about creating boundaries and practice what protects your mental and emotional well-being. Even our discussions about intuition, creativity, and authentic leadership have been rooted in the same mission, helping you access and trust your uniquely human capacities in a world that often seems to reward efficiency over humanity, productivity over presence, and performance over authenticity. Because here's the truth. Emotional resilience isn't just a nice to have in the digital age. It's essential. It's what allows you to stay connected to your values when algorithms are trying to manipulate your attention. It's what helps you build genuine relationships when so much interaction happens through screens. It's what enables you to find purpose and meaning when traditional career paths are being disrupted. It's what keeps you grounded when the news cycle is designed to keep you anxious and reactive. Everything we've talked about, self-awareness, emotional regulation, empathy, authentic communication, setting boundaries, practicing self-compassion, finding your values, building resilience. These are the tools that allow you to thrive rather than just survive in our modern world. As I've been preparing for this episode, I've been reflecting on the biggest lessons that have emerged from our 50 conversations. There are so many insights we could discuss, but I want to share the 10 that feel most foundational, the ones that, if you internalize nothing from this podcast, would still transform how you navigate life in the digital age. Let's do it. Lesson 1. Self-awareness is your superpower. When you truly know yourself, your values, triggers, patterns, and needs, you can make conscious choices rather than just reacting to whatever comes your way. This is the foundation of emotional intelligence and authentic living. Lesson 2. Boundaries aren't walls. They're bridges to better relationships. Setting healthy boundaries with technology, work, and people isn't about shutting down. It's about creating space for what matters most and showing up more fully in your connections. Lesson 3. Vulnerability is courage, not weakness. The willingness to be seen authentically, to admit when you don't have the answers, or to share your real experience creates deeper connections and stronger leadership than any performance ever could. Lesson 4. Your attention is your most valuable resource. In a world designed to fragment your focus, the ability to direct your attention consciously is what allows you to create meaning, build relationships, and accomplish what matters to you. Lesson 5. Intuition and logic work best as partners, not opponents. Your gut feelings often contains wisdom that pure analysis misses, but they work most powerfully when combined with thoughtful reasoning rather than replacing it. Lesson 6. Quality connections matter more than quantity. Whether we're talking about relationships, work projects, or even social media interactions, depth and authenticity consistently create more satisfaction than performance. Lesson 7. Emotional resilience is built through practice, not perfect circumstances. The skills that help you thrive, like self-compassion, mindfulness, and emotional regulation, are developed through daily practice, especially during challenging times. Lesson 8. Purpose comes from alignment, not achievement. Finding meaning in your work and life isn't about accomplishing impressive things. It's about connecting what you do to what you value and care about. Lesson 9. Uncertainty is the price of growth. Every meaningful change involves stepping into the unknown. Learning to navigate uncertainty with curiosity rather than fear opens up possibilities that staying safe never could. Lesson 10. You can influence the digital world instead of just being influenced by it. When you develop strong emotional intelligence and clear values, you can use technology as a tool for connection, creativity, and positive impact rather than being at the mercy of algorithms and other people's agendas. These lessons didn't emerge from theory or research alone, though we've certainly explored plenty of both. They came from our conversations, your feedback, your questions, and the real-world application of these ideas in our messy, imperfect, beautiful human lives. Enjoying what you're hearing? Fantastic! To make sure you're always in the loop with the latest episode, just hit that subscribe button. Your support makes all the difference. And hey, this podcast thrives because of awesome listeners like you. So a big shout out for that. And of course, I'm on Instagram. Find and follow me at Christine_Dang. Lastly, looking for more information on what we discussed today? Just cruise on over to thedangoodshow.com, click on the episode you're curious about, and voila, access to the show notes. Now, without further ado, let's jump back into the show. I want to get personal for a moment and share how this podcast journey has changed me, because I think it illustrates something important about growth and community. When I started The Dang Good Show, I thought I was creating content to help others, and I hope I have been. But what I didn't expect was how much hosting this show would challenge and change me. Every episode has forced me to examine my own life more deeply, to practice what I'm discussing, and to be more intentional about my choices and relationships. The conversations we've had about digital wellness made me more conscious of my own relationship with technology. Our discussions about authenticity pushed me to show up more vulnerably in my relationships. Exploring topics like overwhelm and emotional resilience made me more aware of my own patterns and more committed to the practices that keep me grounded. But perhaps most importantly, your feedback and stories have taught me that we're all figuring this out together. The messages you've sent, the emails you've written, the ways you've shared how these conversations have impacted your lives, they've reminded me that none of us has it all figured out. And that's exactly why we need each other. I've heard from listeners who used our discussions about boundaries to have difficult conversations with family members. People who found courage through our talks about authenticity to make career changes that align with their values. Individuals who discovered tools for managing anxiety through our episodes of mindfulness and emotional regulation. Parents who started having different conversations with their teenagers about social media and digital wellness. These stories have been the greatest gift of this entire journey. Oh geez, emotional here. They've shown me that when we're willing to explore these topics honestly, not pretending to have all the answers, but being curious about how to live better, we create space for real transformation to happen. And they've also shown me something profound about community in the digital age. Even though most of us have never met in person, we've created something real together. We've built a space for authentic conversations for what matters most. We've demonstrated that technology can be used to deepen rather than diminish our humanity when we approach it with intention and care. Your engagement with this content has taught me that people are hungry for authentic conversations about how to thrive in our modern world. You don't want quick fixes or superficial advice. You want real tools, honest reflection, and genuine community around the challenges we're all facing. So thank you. Thank you for trusting me with your time and attention. Thank you for sharing your stories and insights. Thank you for growing alongside me and showing me that this work matters. This podcast has been as much about my growth as it has been about anything else I could offer you, and I'm deeply grateful for that. Now, I want to talk about why I'm taking a break, because I think it's important to be transparent about this decision and what it represents. Over the past few months, as we've been discussing topics like digital overwhelm, the importance of boundaries, and the need for intentional rest, I've been noticing something in my own life. I've been so focused on creating content about digital wellness that I haven't been practicing it as consistently as I'd like. I've been consuming a lot of information to stay current on topics for the show. I've been spending more time than I prefer managing social media and online engagement. I've been in constant content creation mode, which, while fulfilling in many ways, has also pulled me away from some of the slower, quieter practices that keep me grounded and creative. The irony, it wasn't lost on me. Here I was talking about finding balance in the digital age while struggling to maintain that balance myself. And I realized that if I'm going to continue creating authentic content about these topics, I need to live them more fully first. So, this break isn't about burnout or being overwhelmed with the podcast itself. I absolutely love this work and this community. It's about practicing what I preach. It's about taking the time to disconnect, reflect, recharge, and realign with what matters most. It's about demonstrating that rest and boundaries aren't signs of weakness or lack of commitment. They're essential practices for sustainable creativity and authentic living. I want to model what it looks like to step back consciously rather than burning out and being forced to step back. I want to show that you can love your work and still prioritize your well-being. I want to practice the digital wellness I've been encouraging all of you to explore. During this break, I'll be focusing on the practices we've discussed throughout these episodes, spending more time in nature, having longer conversations with friends and family, reading physical books, engaging in creative activities that aren't for content creation, and simply being present with my life rather than constantly documenting or analyzing it. This isn't a permanent goodbye. It's a conscious pause, and I hope it demonstrates something important. That the tools and practices we've been exploring throughout this podcast are meant to be lived, not just discussed. They require time, space, and intention to integrate fully into our lives. Before we wrap up, I want to give you a preview of what's coming in season 2 because I'm genuinely excited about the direction we're heading. When I return, the Dang Good Show will be evolving in some exciting ways. I'm planning to occasionally bring in guest voices, maybe having the same insightful person join me for a few episodes, or doing deep dive conversations with experts who can add different perspectives to topics we love exploring together. This might look like having a psychologist join me for a mini series on digital wellness, or a conversation with someone who's found unique ways to use technology as a tool for human connection rather than distraction. I might also do some episodes that revisit and expand on our most impactful topics from season 1. Go deeper based on what you've told me resonated most. The heart of the show will absolutely remain the same. Practical wisdom for thriving as a human being in the digital age. But I'm excited about the possibility of bringing in additional voices and perspectives when it feels authentic and adds real value to our conversations. Some episode might still be just me and you, like we've always done, and others might feature these special conversations. I'm being intentionally flexible about this because I want to make sure anything I bring to you feels genuine and sustainable. I'd rather have occasional amazing guest conversations than force a format that doesn't serve the quality and authenticity we've built together. What I can promise is that every episode will continue to focus on the tools and insights that help you live more authentically, build emotional resilience, and thrive in our digital world, whether that's through my reflections, guest conversations, or deeper explorations of topics that matter most to you. Season 2 will launch when I'm ready to bring my full presence back to work. I don't have the exact dates yet, and that's intentional. This break is about listening to my internal rhythms rather than external pressures, and I want to return when I'm genuinely excited and recharged rather than when I think I should. You can stay connected with updates by following me on Instagram at Christine_Dang or visiting c-dang.com. I'll share occasional updates about the break and let you know when season 2 is ready to launch. As we wrap up this milestone 50th episode and season 1 of The Dang Good Show, I want to leave you with this. Everything we've explored together over these past 50 episodes isn't just theoretical knowledge. It's a toolkit for living. The insights about emotional intelligence, the practices for digital wellness, the strategies for authentic connection and purposeful living, they only matter if you use them. My invitation to you during this break is to take 1 or 2 of the ideas that have resonated most deeply with you and really commit to practicing them. Maybe it's setting better boundaries with technology. Maybe it's practicing more self-compassion. Maybe it's having more authentic conversations in your relationships. Maybe it's trusting your intuition more fully. Maybe it's creating space for the quiet activities that truly recharge you. Whatever it is, remember that these practices are most powerful when they're consistent rather than perfect. Small daily choices to live more authentically and intentionally compound over time into significant transformation. And remember that you are not alone in this journey. Even though we're taking a break from these bi-weekly conversations, the community we've built together continues. The tools we've explored remain available to you. The wisdom we've discovered together is yours to keep and use however serves you best. Thank you for 50 incredible episodes of growth, curiosity, and authentic conversation. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you for trusting me with your time and for sharing your heart and stories with me. This isn't goodbye. It's until we meet again. Take care of yourselves. Practice what we've learned together. Stay connected to what matters most. And remember that in a world that often feels chaotic and disconnected, your commitment to living authentically and loving deeply is exactly what's needed. Keep being beautifully, authentically, and courageously human. Until season 2, much love, CDang signing off for now. Thank you for joining us on The Dang Good Show. Remember to swing by our website, thedangoodshow.com, where you can easily subscribe on platforms like Apple, Google, and Spotify to keep up with our latest episodes. Loved what you heard today? A thumbs up and a positive review on your favorite listening platform would be incredibly appreciated. And if our show struck a chord with you, sharing it with just one friend can help our community grow and thrive. Thanks once more for lending your ears to me on The Dang Good Show. Until we meet again, take care and goodbye.